And we are getting a piece of breaking input from Pakistan-Afghanistan border. CNN News 18 exclusive news break. Major escalation between the Taliban and Pakistan along the Durand Line. Strategic Afghan artillery strikes were seen hitting Pakistani border posts in Dangam and Birkot in what sources call a coordinated multi-front offensive. According to top Taliban sources, retaliatory attacks are being launched from 5 Afghan provinces, targeting Pakistani checkposts. We are learning that 18 Pakistani soldiers have been killed in these strikes. Indian intelligence sees this as the first direct military-level clash between two Islamic regimes since the Taliban's return to power in 2021. The strikes reportedly expose the vulnerability of Pakistani outposts along the border. That is a very big update that we are getting from Pakistan-Afghanistan border, and India is closely watching the whole situation, fearing that sustained fighting could spiral into proxy conflicts, especially as Afghanistan moves diplomatically closer to India, a shift Pakistan may want to disrupt. Now, this is a strategic message to Pakistan by Taliban. Afghanistan attacking Pakistani post near Durand Line. And we are joined by Siddhant Mishra on this broadcast. A very good morning to you, Siddhant. The strike exposes the vulnerability of Pakistani outposts along the border, Siddhant. How do you see this?
Well, that's right, Harsh. In fact, this input has been brought to us by Manoj Gupta. And in fact, Manoj has to say that Afghanistan attacking Pakistani post near Durand Line. In fact, Afghanistani authorities confirmed this yesterday that 3 of the many Pakistani posts on the Durand Line have been captured by the Afghan forces. Now, it's a big win for the Afghan forces because, Harsh, the way in a very surprised manner, which was and not expected by the Afghan forces, the way Pakistan conducted airstrikes in Kabul and various other parts of Afghanistan perhaps had not gone down well with the Afghani regime. And in fact, the other day here in India also, Afghan foreign minister said that don't test our patience. In fact, that was the open, kind of a warning he gave to Pakistan. And this is perhaps the first retaliatory move by Afghan forces where 3 of the Pakistani posts on the Durand Line have been captured by the Afghan forces. Now, Manoj Gupta is bringing for us this input where Manoj is reporting that we have access, CNN News 18 has access, sensational footage from Dangam, Birkot shows military artillery attacks, major tension between Afghanistan on Pakistan border. The Afghan Taliban, now top sources are telling this to Manoj Gupta, the Afghan Taliban's army has launched simultaneous retaliatory assaults from Helmand, Paktia, Kunar, Nangara and Khost provinces. They are targeting Pakistani checkposts across Kurram, Bajaur and North Waziristan. Initial engagement reports confirm heavy cross-border fire around Guvisar, Spina Saga and Polina. Afghan forces are deploying artillery, mortars and light drones for precision strikes. In fact, they are escalating from small arms skirmishes to continuous bombardments. These attacks are suggesting a deliberate attempt to suppress Pakistani forward defenses. The 201st Khalid bin Walid Army Corps has officially claimed responsibility. They are claiming the operation a retaliatory response to Pakistan's airstrikes on Kabul, Khost and Nangarhar earlier this week. This is one of the first open Afghan army acknowledgement offensive actions against Pakistan under Taliban government. So it's a very important point here. It's the first time open Afghan army acknowledgement offensive actions against Pakistan under Taliban government. Strikes are focused on frontier core, post logistics hubs and small barracks along the Durand Line. Taliban is attacking Gavi, Polin and Shaga. Multiple infiltration attempts have been reported and Afghan units attempting to neutralize key outposts controlling cross-border routes. The operation serves as a direct message to Pakistani attacks and TTP-related airstrikes. Kabul aims to signal that any violation of Afghan sovereignty will now meet organized military retaliation. So it's kind of a new precedent which has been set by the Afghani forces, Harsh, because as I said before this, there was never ever open acknowledgement of the offensive by the Afghani forces. This is for the first time that Afghan Defense Ministry has come up with the release. Their officials are giving interviews on record, and perhaps this is the first time they are acknowledging. It's a clear message to Pakistan that if they will ever be attempting what they attempted 2 days back by conducting airstrikes in Kabul and other places, perhaps it will be dealt in the same manner. So it's a very clear message given by the Afghan forces. In fact, Indian intel sources are telling Manoj Gupta that this as the first open military level confrontation between two regimes. This is exposing Pakistan's weak installations along the Durand Line. India fears if clash sustains, it will trigger proxy escalation. This will also an attempt of Pakistan to trouble Afghanistan as they are moving towards India. So Pakistan has always treated Afghanistan as an area of its strategic depth, perhaps misusing Afghanistan, using Afghanistan for all wrong reasons, etc., etc. And this time around, also Pakistan is not liking that Afghan foreign minister has visited India. Perhaps he is here for almost a week, and this is the reason that a particular date was chosen to struck TTP targets hideouts in Afghanistan to send message to the Afghan government. But now, in retaliation, Afghan forces have captured three of the many checkposts on the Durand Line, Pakistani checkpost on Durand Line, and in fact, they have given befitting reply to the Pakistani forces. Now, it also exposes the might of the Pakistani forces on the Durand Line, because they claim that Afghanistan is their backyard. They don't like Americans speaking to Afghanistanis directly. They don't like Indians speaking to Afghanistani or increasing cooperation. They don't like any other country to speak to Afghanistan, or perhaps have any kind of engagements with Afghanistan, because they think that Afghanistan is their area of strategic depth and they should hold strategic depth in Afghanistan. But now look what's happening, and it looks like that this is not going to end anytime soon. The way it has got escalated. In fact, the countries like Saudi Arabia, Qatar, they have also come up with a statement saying both sides should restrain, and they are concerned over these skirmishes. So definitely fresh tension in the region, and again, one country needs to be held responsible for it. That is Pakistan.
Right, Siddhant. Siddhant, we're also joined by Akash Sharma, our colleague. Akash, if you could also tell our viewers, for the benefit of our viewers only, that what exactly transpired that led to this whole conflict?
Look, this is not something that has escalated in just one day. Siddhant rightly pointed out, the Durand Line is the point of contention, and also the groups that are, in fact, that Pakistan claims, that have been operating on the soil of Afghanistan. We have seen these strikes earlier when the foreign minister of Afghanistan is here in India. And now, last night, these tensions escalated further when, Pakistani Air Force carried out these strikes once again. And claims are that, these strikes were carried out against the civilians and in the border areas of Afghanistan. However, Pakistani side and the, reports are claiming that this was an action against TTP. From both the sides, we know that casualties are there, and in fact, our investigation editor Manoj Gupta is reporting that how 18 Pakistani soldiers have been killed in the sort of firefight, gunfight we saw last night. Airstrikes were there. Some conflicting reports are also there where, there are claims that, Pakistani jets were downed as well. But we still don't know. At around 11, a.m. As per Afghanistan time, which is, 12 a.m., 12 p.m. of the particular, time of India. At that point in time, a press conference is expected, and there we are expecting some sort of clarity as far as casualties are concerned. But Manoj Gupta has been reporting that how tensions have been escalating, and it was an exchange of intense gunfire. In fact, the artillery fire we have been given to understand from both the sides. Manoj Gupta is also reporting that how multiple innocent citizens have been injured from Afghanistan. Houses have been destroyed in the in the aerial strikes. As I mentioned earlier, Pakistani Air Force jets were airborne last night, and in fact, we have been given to understand that drones were also used for these strikes. Around 19 Afghanistan's checkposts we have been told have been destroyed with this heavy artillery. that was in fact used by Pakistanis. Further, we have seen several videos which are showing the sort of destruction and also the reinforcement that was sent by Afghanistan. And the whole Durand line, we have been told that multiple tension points are there. And as Siddhant pointed out, it is not going to cool down very soon. In fact, multiple in fact nations have come out to in fact urge that these activities should stop. But it will be interesting to see as to how things will pan out, because both Afghanistan and Pakistan are blaming each other. We know that both of them have suffered casualties, but in some time from now we'll get some more clarity when we are expecting this press conference of Afghanistan.
Right, Akash. Akash, we are also joined by Major General A.K. Sivaj, who is a defense and strategic expert. Major General Sivaj, I want to know that this also act as a shocker for Pakistan, as this is the proper organized military retaliation by Afghanistan. I'm sure Pakistan was not expecting this kind of retaliation by Afghanistan. What do you make of this?
Absolutely. They always underestimated the military capability of the Taliban army. But the way the Afghanistan has responded, that has completely surprised the Pakistan. Because what has happened is that they have retaliated basically due to what Pakistan had done, the airstrike in Kabul and also in Nangarhar province. The response is so solid that they have attacked number of posts in northwest frontier region, and they managed to capture almost 4 to 5 of them. Earlier also, when they attacked, the 3 posts of Pakistani frontier corps is still with the Taliban. But this time the attack was so powerful that they have used mortars, they have used artillery, they have used drones for precision firing. And what they are doing is the supply route which is bringing logistics to the post, that has been also cut off. Pakistan army is on a back foot. They have been completely surprised, and to me it looks like their morale is very low. Whereas the Taliban army is now fighting with a lot of josh and encouragement, and it seems that this is not going to be over soon. The tension on the Durand line will increase in time to come. Everyone knows that Afghanistan does not recognize Durand line, and Pashtun both sides want to join Afghanistan and bring Sharia law. To me, it looks like that the way situation is panning out in now on the Durand line in northwest frontier, the Pakistan will suffer more casualty because they are not that much organized in that area vis-a-vis Afghanistan. And Afghanistan had a local force. They are getting a real-time intelligence. That's very important. Now, whereas the Pakistanis are not having any real-time intelligence, or they are not having a local force, the frontier force is on the back foot. They are getting the maximum beating from the Taliban Afghan army. Another issue is that the message which they have sent is very loud and clear, that we are not going to accept our sovereignty, especially territorial integrity and sovereignty to be taken lightly. The way the Pakistan attacked in Kabul, they wanted to eliminate the TTP leader Noor Ali Masood, but they haven't done it. They couldn't do it. Possibly his son has been killed. But this retaliation is massive by the Afghanistan Taliban army, which it shows to Pakistan that they will not sit quiet in case Pakistan violates their airspace or use artillery or mortars. The response will be strong, and this time this has been shown that Pakistan army is on a back foot, whereas the Taliban army is using all weapons which is there in armory, special mortars, artillery and drones. And it looks like that the casualty on the either side is there, but the casualty on the Pakistan side is very, very high.
Right. Thank you so much for joining us, Major General Sivaj, on this story. Now we're shifting focus to another